It was Texas, it was Tennessee.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Texas to Tennessee podcast. We are Steveless tonight, so I had to bring my own self in. Um, I appreciate y'all joining tonight. We have Miss Steph Maguire. How you doing?
What is up?
Yeah. Thanks for taking the time to hop on the podcast. We've been Facebook friends for a little bit and
Yeah.
TikTok and all that kind of stuff. So appreciate the time for sure.
Yeah, of course. Likewise.
Mhm.
Likewise.
Um, so before we get going, y'all make sure you go follow Steph on all the socials and engage in those posts. It helps all the artists involved. I usually wait to the end to do this spill, but since Steve's not here, it is the wild wild west tonight. Sorry, Steve. Um, but yeah, definitely make sure you go do all that. Anybody that joins in YouTube or Facebook, definitely if you got any questions along the way, that's one of the cool things about recording them this way is it can be interactive. So definitely, and she can actually see the comments tonight and the way she's set up. So um, yeah, that'll be cool. So usually when we are Steveless, I usually just ask if who the hell is Steph Maguire?
That's me. That's me.
So, give us a little brief backstory.
So I'm an independent artist. I now live in Nashville, Tennessee, which is quite a blessing and a curse at the same time. It's really great for working here. I've been able to get a lot done. I'm really found a lot of my music down here, and Um, I'm an Americana rock artist, I guess you would say. I definitely lean a little bit more towards the rock edge of things. Been through a lot. I was a firefighter EMT for over a decade and followed that career path for 15 years, and then decided to just put a lot of what I've been through into music. And the connection can just go even further. So that's kind of what I'm doing out here. Independent rock artist. Got a band, travel, and kind of did everything my whole life backwards, including this. So we're catching up and enjoying the ride, really.
Understood. So what part of the world were you originally in before the trip to Nashville?
Originally, I'm from upstate New York originally, and
Okay,
then I lived in North Carolina for about a decade. So in between there, I'm here in Tennessee by way of North Carolina.
I got you. You were already doing independent music in some way, shape, or form before you moved into town, right?
Yeah.
I got you. Did that change very much as far as the style of music? I guess let's back up to there. How did you get from upstate New York to moving down south and then eventually to Nashville?
Oh man, that's a story. Let's see. How do we sum this up?
Okay. uh,
Long story short, yeah, I was in upstate New York. That's where I'm from. Like the rural North Country up there. I had
I
cows in
got you.
both directions. So a lot of people are like New York, like it's a lot of cattle mostly, and
I got you.
grew up on a lake. But yeah, so I lived there for most of my life, kind of small town living, kind of mountain woman kind of life, and then it just was in the fire department chasing my career there, and I got married, got divorced, got my heart broke, and ended up heading south just to kind of start over. Really, just had to get away from all that. And when I landed there, I pretty quickly, really all I had was my guitar. I was always a songwriter, but I never really shared that. I was
Hmm.
just kind of a me thing for my whole life, really, as long as I can remember. I was writing songs, so I just never thought I would share them until I went to North Carolina, got my heart broke again, and then started. I started doing like some open mics and stuff when I got there, and realized, um, I had been on the receiving end of so much music where it like changes you, or you just hear a song you really needed to hear. And then I realized after open mics, people were coming up to me and being like, "Holy cow, that made me like
Mm-hmm.
emotional. I'm going through that now, or I just went through that, and it kind of everything flipped on its head after that. And I started through the community there. Everyone was like, "I want to be in a band with you." I was like, "Why? Like, I don't think you do." And yeah, I didn't even throw a band together. A band threw itself together for me. And then pretty quick, I think it was 5 months after our first ever like getting together. I only knew original music. I didn't really know any
Mm-hmm.
covers. We played one of the biggest theaters in Raleigh, North Carolina, with
Okay.
original music. And yeah, it was pretty much guns blazing ever since then. Just pedal to the metal, full speed ahead ever since then. That was in 2019.
Gotcha. What is the what's the music scene, independent scene in Raleigh, North Carolina like? I mean, it seems like it's fairly. I mean, I know not everywhere fully supports independent music, but it seems like there's a little something that goes on there.
Yeah, Raleigh's definitely a special place. That's a big part of why I wanted to move there to begin with. I checked it
Mm,
out and like scoped it out before I moved, and just found a lot of bars downtown had live music. And I was like, yeah, this is great. Weather's way better down there too. And yeah, the scene's pretty good. I will say it's like anywhere else where um, it's hard to find your tribe, I guess. It's hard to find the right people in the right genre with the right mindset that want exactly what you want to actually like have a band and keep it together. I think that's pretty universal, really. But the community is small. It's kind of rural outside of Raleigh itself.
mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of great players, but usually they're all, taken
They're
up
taking.
or don't want to travel or whatever.
So what about the? I mean, you've done independent or original music,
Yeah.
basically the whole time, and
Hmm.
we'll back up a little bit here and there, but I mean, now you are. I mean, you're doing the Nashville thing, right? As far as
Hmm.
you've done your share of Broadway gigs and
Oh
all of
yeah.
those things. So you went from playing almost no covers
Yeah.
to that being your main means of income, right?
Hmm. Yep.
How was that adjustment? Or I mean, was it just because the scene is so vibrant or whatever that does it make it easier?
Well, I will say what happened was COVID.
Okay.
So in 2020, we went from tours lined up and like out of nowhere, out the gate with all these great opportunities and networking with some amazing people to nothing. And I was pretty new to music in general. I didn't know how to run sound. I didn't know how to do a lot of things really. I was pretty fresh to sharing it. So during COVID, there was a lot of opportunity to like play on the patio at the brewery. You know what I mean? And like
Right.
people were picking up their to go orders, but they didn't pay me. But that was warranted because I was not worth being paid at the time, really.
Gotcha.
I didn't have a catalog of music. But through that experience, I learned it. I tried to learn some stuff, and I've always been a music lover, so it wasn't very difficult to find songs that I wanted to play genuinely.
Right.
And yeah, so during COVID, I learned a lot of that. And then as soon as things started opening up, I now had a fresh catalog. I also learned how to run sound, and I learned how to do really a lot during that time relevant to music and the industry as a whole. So that was kind of a good like bridge for me. As unfortunate as a lot of that time was, it did open up a lot of doors for me to understand music a lot better.
It that the more people we talk to, it seems like that time period, especially for people that were not necessarily the old hats, but the folks that have either a lot of people just got started, for maybe
Mhm.
their job played out and they decided, okay, now is the time. Or there's been several that, just got started and then, like you said, the pandemic hit,
Yeah.
or all these different scenarios of how, but even when that happened to them, like you said, good things still kind of, there was a few positives in the middle of all that
Mhm.
chaos for artists. Even Even when we talked to like Jason Eady, and they had this sequestered songwriters thing going on where they built an online group of independent artists, you know, and that fed off of all these things and opened all these different doors. So it is odd how that affected so many different people
Hmm.
differently, and some negative, but also some positive things. What There is a video of you setting your sound up on your Instagram, in which I know you're just making content for the hell of
Yeah.
for making content, which I know that's just part of the deal. But I've never really thought about that part as well. There's probably actually a lot of artists that just like to see you doing those things like that because they can relate. You're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
we've been, we've all been there.
Yeah. And it's like it's a little different in Nashville too, because a lot is just plug and play, which
Hmm.
is different from traveling. Because I did that first. I was traveling and now I'm in Nashville and everything. You kind of just show up with your guitar and your mic and plug in, and the rest is up to you how your show goes, especially solo gigs. Yeah, but I try to think about when I'm making content. For the longest time, I like hated it so much because there's this like feeling like you need to do it. But then I realized like I like watching it. Like when people that you know what I mean? Like when people
Hmm.
I follow and my favorite artists are making content, I eat that stuff up. So I'm like, why
Right.
don't I do that? And also like, I don't know, there's so many times where I think any entrepreneurship, but definitely especially any creative entrepreneurship, you just feel like there's so many reasons why you can't. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm too rock, I'm too country, I'm too old, too young, too I got kids now, or I got the or whatever the
Hmm.
situation is. But it's like when you just break it down and you just realize you just I don't know. We're just we're just people out here too. It's just a especially Broadway for me is a day job. I love my day job. It's got a little bit of a cross to bear, I think, because there's a little bit of a uh, let's say a bad feeling about Nashville from a lot of musicians, which there's good and bad to everything. But
Understood.
I love that I get to do that as my day job, as my main source of income is just play music and get better every day and like play my favorite songs by my favorite artists. There's no rules. People think you got to play a certain thing on Broadway, and I reckon that could be true, but that has not been my experience. Pretty much everywhere has just been like, just do you like to the best of your ability. And if you don't suck, we'll keep you here next week, you know?
Uh,
Like I just play what I want to. I play 49 Winchester, Jake Stringer, Cody Jinks all day, every day. That's my whole job.
I mean,
Got Brent Cobb requested yesterday. Like, come on. I don't know. It's
okay. See, I'm a corner stage, cover guy, right? So, I know when I get a request for, I wear like the Steelwood shirts or the Brent Cobb
right.
shirts or whatever, just so it opens up that door.
Hmm.
So we got, if somebody walks in and they got a Cody Jinks shirt on, that means I know I can start playing that music. Um, I mean, I know you get a lot of the same requests.
Yeah.
So in your world, when you get a Brent Cobb request, like what goes through your mind? Are you like, we can be friends? Like, cause that's what I
Well,
always
I had
think. I was
already
like, come
scoped
on,
it out. I
we
had
need a
already
hug.
scoped him out. I knew
Okay.
he requested Charles Wesley Goodwin first, and I was like, we're gonna be best friends.
Right,
We're
right.
gonna be best friends. So yeah, so when that Brent he was like, you know, I need Brent Cobb. I was like, oh, buddy, yes, I do, I do. Thank you for requesting the good stuff. But
Man,
that's
that's
mostly what I get to do now. I mean, I think like anything else, you gotta build your own empire. Like no
mhm.
one's coming, no one's gonna fix it for you, no one's gonna make some beautiful platform for you to stand on. You got to decide what you're trying to do. And for me, it's like I've just been pretty headstrong about wanting to play what I want to play and just learning from the songwriters that came before me that inspire me and spending as much time with their music as I can. And it's worked out pretty good. People like seeing people doing what they genuinely love doing, you know?
Yeah. And that's great. That I mean, I'm just happy to hear that that music is because you know how it is. There's still one in every 20 that's going to know a Brent Cobb song, and
Yeah,
but still it probably used to be one in 50. So
right.
the fact that that music is out there enough to for people to even request it is like that's a win. It's it just
Totally.
as a fan that's a win.
Definitely.
Yeah, win
And
for
as like
the
as a
good guys.
songwriter for me, it's always nice. Sometimes people will request whatever the new Megan Maroney or whatever's the new song. And I genuinely do go home and listen to a lot of things that people bring up to me because if it's
Right.
enough that you want to hear it, it's probably a good song, you know?
Hmm.
And I'm so surprised. I'm so thankful for the stuff that I've learned that I probably wouldn't have,
Understood.
or like an old song that you played 100 times and you're reading these lyrics this one time and you're like, wait a minute, like what? Like this song, like Give Me Three Steps, for instance. I love playing that song, but if you really sit with those lyrics, that's a pretty deep song. Even Bobby McGee, he's singing
Understood.
6,000 songs, but it's a heartbreak song. He let this guy, he let Bobby McGee left her. He ghosted her. He ghosted Janis Joplin.
I always think about that with like the that summer by Garth Brooks and
Yeah.
Strawberry Wine too. Both like the more you play them, the more you realize these are
Mm-hmm.
kind of odd. You know what I mean? These are odd stories in a way. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
this is a little creepy, little creepy there.
Red Ragtop, Tim
Right,
McGraw. Oh
right.
my goodness, that's a deep song.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna do my best to ask Steve's question about the pie question. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So Steve gives people pies, and he it is divided up into four sections. Not
I'm
literally.
with you. I'm with
It's a
you. I'm
musical
with
pie.
you. All
All
right.
right. All right. So one slice is songwriting. One
Mm.
slice is performing. One slice is studio, and one slice is the business and socials and everything else that goes into running your small business. Which one do you gravitate to the most? Which one's home the most?
Definitely songwriting, hands down.
That's
Songwriting is something that I've done my whole life, like really as far as I can remember. Even as a tiny kid, I would write. I was poetry. I was a big poet.
mm,
I was real big on. I don't know. I was a weird, outsider kind of kid, and that was my therapy to myself was just words, writing. I would write stories, write big on poetry. Always writing poetry. I didn't know songs and poetry were the same thing really until probably middle school is when I started really getting into like music and learned how to play a little bit. I learned how to play guitar when I was about 16, so I was kind of late there, but I was always writing. So writing's definitely been my thing forever. And then definitely more so since I've been here in Nashville because the songwriter community here is so first of all vast and then it's so supportive.
mm,
So I never thought like writing with other people would be anything I would do. Everything has always been so personal and kind of my story and a lot of what I've been through is like why I was writing. But yeah, I've definitely been really inspired at being here of just learning the craft a little bit better of
d-
writing.
I got you. I got you. What? So as far as the writing, did you co-write very much before you got into town, or was that something you kind of you dove into after the fact?
It was kind of a slow dive when I
Okay.
got here. I wrote with like friends slash band members in Raleigh, really just one, in Raleigh. Um, and that went well, but we also were good friends and actually a couple now I think about it. Yeah, a couple, but it was always just casual. We're drinking, smoking, you know what I mean?
Right.
And just hanging out, writing songs. And it was, not that serious. It wasn't
Mhm.
there, whether we finished it or not didn't matter. We were just having a good time writing music. When I got to Nashville, it was kind of I didn't understand. I was just doing these writer rounds because I was watching other people do it. And also, one of my first jobs when I got to Nashville was running sound, ironically, for a writer round
Okay.
because I didn't have any other networking. And that was a hard skill that I had from I was touring and stuff
I
before I
got you.
moved to Nashville, running my own sound and learning the hard way how to do it. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, so I was watching all these songwriters and I was getting inspired because what I thought it was and what it is, way different things, way
Gotcha.
different things. And then, yeah, and then you meet friends there and you hear things in their writing or their style or things that inspire you or whatever. And you're just like, yo, I would love to write with you. Like, I just feel like we would write good together. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but it's just like anything else. You build your tribe there. And I now have a super solid group of people I love writing with. Cass Jones is one of them. I think you guys
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
talked to him. Cass Jones and I write great together. We've written a lot of songs. So,
Castle's he's one of the coolest. Yeah, we interviewed him. I asked him to come on, because he had just started releasing some of his original
mhm.
music, and then got to hang out with him at North Springs Music Fest. He was working sound and stuff like that there.
Yep.
So yeah, hey, man, you can tell he's one of the good guys for sure.
Yeah. I met him before I moved to Nashville. I opened up for Josh Morningstar and he was
Okay, yeah,
TMing and he was playing cajon for Josh.
yeah.
And so he was like my only friend when I first moved to Nashville, one of my only friends.
Gotcha. We've had Josh Morningstar was on too.
Oh yeah?
Early on. Some of the folks that have been on, I'm still surprised, especially when I think back to like single digit episodes. That who was on. I'm still like I now. Yeah, then I knew it was a big deal, but I didn't know how much of a big deal. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
to
I'm
say
a
that
huge
Josh
fan of
Morningstar
Josh.
would have been on like episode 9. I'm like, why the hell would he come on episode episode 9? We didn't know what we were doing. But
I'm a
either
huge
way,
fan.
yeah, and he was cool too. Um, yeah, I've seen Josh and Cass do their thing here in the Memphis area too. So great group of guys for sure. Um, have
Yeah,
you
Cass is a real one.
have you that's cool. That's cool to hear. I know it's a big town, but in some ways it seems kind of small in some
Mhm.
ways too. Um,
You
have
find your people.
I could see that. I could see that because you gotta like you said, building your own empire that goes into it.
Mhm.
I could see that. At least there's plenty of options, like you said, in Raleigh and certain areas the pools the not that not that big. There it's vast. So
Yup.
have you has anybody recorded anything that you've written or helped write?
Yeah. I got my first cut this year. Jason McPhail cut a song. I don't know if you're allowed to cuss on here, but it's called
Yeah.
Bad Motherfucker, it's called.
Well, how is that? Just I mean that doesn't sound like a super serious song. Or I guess it is serious, just a different way.
Yeah.
What how was that for the first time hearing the final product of that to hear it back?
Pretty dope. It was really cool because he came in with this energy. I met him at a write around and he has kind of similar um, writing style where it's like kind of a little deeper sometimes than your average. And he hit me up and he was like, dude, I love the way you write. I just want some rock and roll, some southern rock. And I know we'd be great together if we could just write. And we went in, we wrote that song. Well, we wrote most of it. I think he finished it um, with his guitar player, but he was stoked on it from the beginning. He just came in with such energy. And then when he told me he was going to cut it, I was like, heck yeah. And then he the best part is on that song, shameless plug, go stream that. Um, he wanted how do I say he wanted intimate sounds during the
Okay.
solo. like a welcome to the jungle moment,
Right, right,
right?
right. That's exactly
And
what I was thinking, like a GNR thing.
like
Okay.
the studio, he said he hit up a couple studio gals that were not into it. And I was like,
I got you.
let's go. You got there. Why didn't you call me to begin with, dude? So yeah, so I'm actually on that record. Sorry, mom, making noises for the
It's art. It's for the arts,
that's right.
Mom. Yeah, it's
Studio vocals in Nashville, Tennessee.
hey, somebody's got to do it. Might as well be a professional. So
That's what I'm saying. There's no one
exactly.
better for the job, really.
Well, I mean, a huge part of it, you already understand what he's going for because you were
Right.
already
I wrote
involved
a
in the song,
song.
right? Um, well, speaking of songs, man, these things go by fairly quick. Let's get into the song we're gonna play tonight. Ride High. So,
Yes.
what's up with that song? What's the story on it?
I love that song. I wrote it during COVID, but it's a song, it's a motorcycle song, like at face value. But like I'm deep like that. So it's really an analogy for life in general.
Okay,
It's really about like um I feel like when you're riding motorcycles, there's one thing about that is a unique experience from really anything else you can do in 2025, which is feel extremely vulnerable. Like you might die for real every time. Like a squirrel could take you out, and it's facts, and
right,
there's not very many times as adults, in 2025 where you really feel that close to, I don't know, you have to be present. You smell the grass being cut. You know exactly where the potholes are. You're not off in your head cranking the stereo. You're
understood.
in the moment. And yeah, so I kind of just wrote about that feeling, and I built the song too. Even I argued with everybody about it. The way the song is built too is it kind of starts out, you kind of know what's going on, and then it goes to this like moment where you feel like the bottom fell out, which is exactly what it feels like when you hit a oh shit moment on a bike, and then it's just like full throttle after that, double times, the drums kick in double, like we got double kick going in on the end. That's what it feels like when you almost eat it, but then you don't. Your heart's pounding, you're ready to go forever. You feel invincible for just a minute after you almost die.
Well, I have to say, Steph, that is one of the best song intros that anybody's given
Ooh,
us on the pod. So, um,
thanks.
yes, take that, Cass Jones.
Ooh.
Cass is too laid back for an intro like that. He's a light like me. So, but anyways, here we go. Steph Maguire, Ride High here.
Darkest night, steady until dawn. The devil has taken some. The road is taking more. In the end, the freedom's what we're chasing. We've all got demons we're racing. Gotta pull one down, but the rest is up. Ain't your choice, it's plain damn luck. Heaven is calling you, you've got to answer. Time goes fast, we gotta keep up. It's fight or flight, we always run. But the one thing you can't outrun are nightmares. We ride high and we ride low. Ride the darkest night, steady until dawn. The devil is taking some. The road is taking more. Chasing. We've all got demons we're racing. Stay in your lane and keep it straight. Pray it don't lead you to heaven's gate. You never know what monsters might take you. grass, you can slide or die no matter what you've been through. We ride high and we ride low, from the darkest night steady on till dawn. The devil has taken some, the road has taken more. In the end, the freedom's what we're chasing. We've all got demons we're out racing. We ride high. We ride high. We ride high and we ride low. Ride the darkest night, steady on till dawn. The devil is taking some, the road is taking more. In the end, the freedom's what we're chasing. We've all got demons we're racing.
Yeah, man.
Heck yeah.
I'm always curious when you have to sit there and listen to something. I don't know when you recorded that song or how long it's been, but I know you don't like well, you might, I don't know, put on your own music on a regular basis, but how when you're listening to that, what are you thinking of? Are you like nitpicking it apart? Are you thinking of the people that were playing on it, or what kind of comes to your mind?
Uh, I love that. I just love I love the stuff I create. So I love
Okay.
hearing it. But yeah, I think about everybody. Logan Henry from Cody Lee Meese and the Poor Excuses played steel guitar on there, and my boy Vander, he's been playing guitar for me since 2019 in North Carolina. He did all the guitars on it. So it's like a lot of things.
Yeah.
And
I could.
also, like, nothing has ever really come easy to me, which I'm not complaining about because it's made me one hell of a like everything. But yeah, that song was a giant pain in the ass. So to have it here, it's the most rock and roll start to finish situation ever. For it to be here and out is like such a nice. Can't help but like think of all of that first.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because we know that or we've learned by talking to people that you go in the studio to do a song, and whether it's um, it's a moment in time. We've learned that that sometimes it can be a day, it can be but even if it's longer, but it's still a relatively short amount of time that you put something together. So I could see people's like critiquing it in their head. I could also, like in my case, I would probably, like you said, I would be thinking of the folks that I got to play music with, or that took the time to play on something I wrote or whatever the case would be. But I imagine that snapshot also brings back memories.
Yeah, I think Tyler Childers reiterated it. I'm not sure that he came up with this idea, but how like music tattoos sound. And
Hmm.
I feel like there's nothing more than like a recording that really just brings back that it just really timestamps time. There's nothing about it. You don't forget where you were when you got a tattoo. You know what I mean? You don't
Understood.
forget what you were doing when you got that song recorded.
Yeah, completely makes sense. Which you got a bunch of other stuff out there. I was listening to a lot of it today. As far as what was the Carolina song? I'm going
Oh
blank.
yeah,
Sorry, sorry.
Carolina. I love that
Uh,
one so much. I tattooed it on me. Tattooed it. It yeah, I love that song too. I love all my songs. I mean, I'm a little biased, but
I understand.
that's the only love song I've ever written right there. And
Carolina.
it's if you listen to it again,
Hmm.
it's really a dirty song. It's a true story, but it's about like fun. You know when you like I don't know. I'm single AF, so it's been a minute since I've felt this. But like after you go through a heartbreak and then you like take a chance on the next person, where you're like, is it like are we is this like are we gonna
Hmm.
do we're doing this? I guess you know when you're in that little bit and you finally like make that choice of like yes I'm in that
Gotcha.
feeling.
Hmm.
Well, it's like a physical it's a little dirty in the beginning there, you know. It's a true story about just like taking that chance and just surrendering to that feeling
Understood.
and other things, you know.
I got you.
I'm a
Yeah.
poet, so it's nice and classy in there on that one.
Cla- Well, I really like that song as well. And you got your friends think I'm crazy, which of
Yeah.
course I had to listen to that just because from the title,
Yeah.
because yeah, that's a good one too. So what do you have? What's coming up? I know you're going to be doing some tour dates and things to that nature. But what's on the horizon for you?
On the I have two more songs that are right now being in the final stages of mixing and mastering, so those should be
Okay.
out hopefully in the next couple months. And really, really excited about both of them. I think it's hard to choose like what songs you really like most, but they're just such different stories, um, and such like very excited about both of those. And I also have a tour coming up with Oliver Sayani. We'll be out in Kansas City and in Kentucky, I believe, the end of June. In July, I'm opening for Kendall Marvel, which is I'm super stoked for that. In July, I think 19th it is, out there at the marina. And
Hmm.
then in August, my whole band will all it'll be round two in Wisconsin. Wisconsin almost killed us last time, so we'll be round two in Wisconsin. And I think we'll be back at the Backroom Lounge as well for that tour.
Okay. With
Um,
Jeb. That's
yeah.
yeah. That's a. Uh, I've never been. I had a chance. Actually, my buddy just went up there and played, and I wasn't able. Unfortunately, I have to work at work and wasn't able to make that trip. But
Do it.
um,
Put it on your bucket list. I'm telling you, there's
yeah,
something
I
special
know.
in that room. I'm
And he
telling you.
he was
I don't
opening
know
for.
what it is. There's some spooky stuff in those walls.
Well, I'm, I didn't get to meet Jeb, but we were at a festival at the same time. So like I was new to the scene at that time, and I wish I would have actually said something. But um, yeah, my buddy was opening for Adam Hood, and I had a chance to go up
Nice.
there and play and whatever, and I wasn't able to do it, and like yeah, I regret that. But um,
Next time, hop in the truck. We're
no,
leaving in
I had a
August.
ride. I just yeah, unfortunately
We'll
had to
put you in the
do other
trailer.
things.
It's fine back there.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try my best to make it to the Kendall Marvel show. I saw that
Oh yeah.
earlier this week. So Kendall's playing up in the Tennessee Kentucky line there. So Got folks, some folks in our little bar band have a place up there. So that's more than one reason to
Nice. I'm
go up there to the
so
Breaker show.
excited for that. I love him.
Yeah,
So plus also the like my songwriter heart, right, is like
yeah, yeah. I mean, he's doing the independent music thing now, but he's been doing the writing thing
very profound writer.
for so long, and also just covers his songs that you've heard Stapleton
Mhm.
sing or Gary Allen sing or whoever, but him doing them also feels like home as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So congratulations on
Thank
those
you.
tours.
I'm super excited.
What are some of the, you've done this touring thing some. What are some of the give me one major positive and one not so positive real life thing from touring.
Ooh, a positive and a negative from touring. Dang, I've been touring for a long time. We did, I will say,
Or a crazy ass touring story if you've been doing it for that long.
oh no.
Uh, okay.
I had, oh man.
The point is to point out the not so great things about the
Oh yeah.
touring
I mean,
life.
I had a guitar player quit on tour in 2022. That's a large part of why I ended up in Nashville. I had my whole band disintegrated on the road because the road is not an easy place to be. And it's not an easy place to be if you're not 1,000% sure you want to be there.
Hmm.
And yeah, I've seen a lot of people fall apart on the road. Unfortunately for me, one time it just like took out my whole band and my whole business. I had to rebuild everything. I still have people that won't call me back because of that. But like you can't predict that your band's gonna crumble on the
Oh,
road, I guess.
as far as bookings are concerned.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Rightfully so. Honestly, it was. I hope they forgive me now. It's been 3 years, and I've learned a lot. I've got completely different caliber players with me now. But when you got people that are from small towns that are just having fun, and then you're forced into no sleep, just real hard. Mixed feedback, sometimes playing to nobody after you just left your hometown, playing to the whole town. Like
mm,
it messes with you, the strongest people. And if you're not sure for sure you want to be there, and if you're not mentally ready, it'll get you. It'll get you. I've seen it too in the bigger. I don't know. I'm a tour manager also for bigger bands,
okay.
and I've seen it at the highest level too. Of just you just sometimes people just fall apart, and
It's a lot of just
it's just a
pre.
lot of pressure. It's a lot
Mm,
of it's a tough schedule.
mm,
You don't know where you're going to be sleeping. You don't know how well or if at all you're going to be sleeping. You got people you may or may not like today, 6 inches from you every day for a month or sometimes more. Like it's a hard gambit, but it's also like anything else. The hardest things in the world are the most rewarding. If you are one of those people that does want to be there and knows that to your core and doesn't let the no sleep and people taking you off get in the way of it, you can have some of the most magical, most profound moments that for will stick with you forever.
that seems like we've mentioned this several times, but it seems like that's why um, the guys that pound the pavement and do those things, there's kind of like a club, and once they realize you're working hard and you're putting the miles in, you're pounding the pavement, you're playing the nobody gigs
Hmm.
and all those things, that you're kind of in the club. It's
Yeah.
like a mutual respect because they all know that
Hmm.
you've been there.
Road dogs are built different, man. They
You're
just
not
are.
trying to bypass anybody by taking the shortcut of, for whatever, the
Hmm.
TikTok fame or whatever the case would be.
Road
Um,
dogs are just built different. Just are.
I understand. I mean, I've only really started talking to people, within the last year and a half to 2 years, but I can tell it is a different.
Even like,
I like my recliner too much to be trying to do. That sounds nice. I would like to go on tour like from here to the beach and then from the beach home. You know, like a 2 week tour. Uh,
I think they call it a vacation.
Well, and I just want the tour to pay for the trip
Oh,
there
okay, yeah, yeah,
and,
yeah,
and the trip home, and maybe a
yeah.
room. That's about all I want.
Let's do it.
Okay, fair enough. Um, all right, let's see. Make sure what's kind of a time period as far as the new music is concerned?
I just
What's
got
the
the master
goal?
back from one of them this week, so it's probably about 4 to 6 weeks out, hopefully,
Okay,
for that one. That one's called Drinking. I guess I can go ahead and drop that news. You guys heard it here first.
that's right.
Drinking will be the next single out. It's actually Drinking One More Time, and it's a song about sometimes you ever want to you want to go out drinking, but you don't really necessarily care if you're drinking or not. You just need to get the heck out of your
Get out.
house and
Okay,
out of your head.
right.
And it's not really about you don't really need to talk about it. You don't need to you're not you just need to get away from yourself, honestly, for a while. It's one of those songs. So I'm really proud of that song. I love that song. So that one should be out I'm hoping to have it out by my birthday, but it's looking like it's a little close now, June 11th, but we'll see, somewhere around that time. And
Okay.
then Don't Cry, which is like the most pitiful song ever. One of them cheating songs, you ever get cheated on? God dang, that shit hurts. Yeah, I wrote a song about that. Don't Cry. That one should be out probably July, maybe August at the latest. We'll see.
I got you. Um, Something I was going to ask you about earlier, and we got to talking, that we skipped over it. But because we've had a few people on that are doing the Nashville thing as far as Broadway and all those things. I'm curious in a world full of players, but also a lot of them are busy, and you might not click with half of them. How do you piece together a band, for gigs and things like how did you meet your people?
My squad.
Hmm.
Well, luckily I had my guitar player Vander moved. He quit my band before we broke up on the road. He kind of called
Okay.
it. He was like, "That guy's gonna ruin your band." I was like, "No way, dude. No, no, no."
Shout
So
out
he
to you,
quit, moved
Vander.
to Nashville ahead of us. So luckily I had him kind of built in.
Okay.
My guitar player that already knew all my original songs and everything. But also I knew a lot of people really from the road. A lot of the road dogs are in Nashville.
Okay.
So you kind of recognize people, a lot of the same people, and you try to stick to your tribe out here, really. And then you meet a bunch of other great ones. Also, like a trip. Sometimes I'll be playing the rooftops or something, be loading out, and I'll hear like 49 Winchester, and I'm like out in the streets, like, where's that?
Recruiting.
Who called that song? I need to know. And like, how well did the band know it? Like, okay, the guitar player knew that song. Like, I need your number.
That's yeah. I was curious about
I
that
spent a lot of time drinking on them streets,
because handing out business
requesting
cards,
Paul Cawthon and seeing who's got
seeing
it,
who could. Ah, okay, okay.
It's a game I like to play.
They're being tested and they don't know it. Okay,
That's right.
that's fair enough. I mean, that's if you ask Tyler Childers, there's a real good chance a lot of people are going to know it. But then you start
Right.
get a little deeper, and you
Requesting Coulter Wall,
you start weeding them out. Yeah, fair enough. Fair
some
enough.
steel drivers. Come
Okay,
on.
they're being interviewed on
Oh,
Broadway, and
yeah.
they have no idea. That's
Hmm.
that's a, I mean,
And you can see if it's a 5-piece band, maybe the drummer's like, "Oh, I love that song," and the rest of the band's like, "Sorry, we don't got it." I'm like, "I need the drummer's number now." You don't even got to play it. I
no,
just need to see who recognized the name when I said it.
that it makes complete sense. complete sense. I would, yeah, I would probably, that would probably actually be something I would do.
We are out here.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
out here. Telling you.
I'm gonna do that next time I go. Even like, I don't have a band in Nashville or whatever, but I'm just gonna
My
start.
favorite game.
I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to play the Steph Maguire
Get a
music
couple
tribute.
beers in you or whatever you're into. Start requesting some dumb stuff. See who
we're,
knows it.
we're just
Yeah.
yeah, just start requesting it and just to see the look on their face, and we'll record it for the
Yeah.
podcast.
And like the Steelwoods, for example, like their bass player plays well, I
Johnny.
guess whatever around there. But
Yeah.
even before when they were together, they play Broadway. I got like their steel guitar player plays every instrument. He's played bass for me several times. Didn't even
Okay.
mention he played for the Steelwoods. So like I think he'll be with me in Chattanooga in a couple weeks. They're pedal steel guitar player. He plays playing bass for me. So it's kind of Nashville's just like that. A lot of people come and they see the surface level and they see the covers or whatever music they're not into and they are like, this isn't for me, I'm out. But just like anything else, you do a little deep dive, it is all here. R&B, heavy metal, rock, hardcore, everything. Every niche is here. You just got to take the time and find it.
I don't remember the name of the club. I think it's not there anymore. I haven't been in years. But this was at the height of Wagon Wheel.
Oh, God.
That was that time period, right? And this bar was not a country bar. But of course, that didn't stop the buzz folks from yelling, country songs. So when they started in on Wagon Wheel, it was like Green Day version of Wagon Wheel, which I was like, okay, I became like I was.
Heck
If
yeah.
they would have had original music, I would have purchased something at that point in time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just because they're like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And kick
I
it
love
off.
doing that, putting your own spin on stuff,
Yeah, well,
especially stuff that has really good lyrics that gets lost sometimes.
I could completely see that.
I'll stop the whole bar. I'll be like, all right, you guys listen to this next line. All right, you guys here? All right. This one right here.
At least you enjoy it. Yeah,
Hmm.
I do the same thing. Even on TikTok or whatever, I'll rewind the song for for that one line that hooked me, just to point out
Yep.
why I love this song. But
Yep.
okay, well we'll get into a couple quick rapid fire questions, and then
All right, I'm
we'll get
ready.
you out of here. All right, a desert island album.
Oh, like I have to listen
You're
to only
stuck.
one album forever?
Well, it depends on how long that lasts, but
How long my survival skills get me? It won't be long, but either way, I'm taking Fleetwood Mac.
okay, all right, fair enough.
The Rumors, probably the Rumors one.
Rumors has it. Okay, all right. Let's see. What's bucket list venues?
Ooh, of course, the Ryman, Red Rocks. Those are probably my top two right there.
What about
And I always say I want to go to Tokyo. I just want to. I don't care if I'm managing. I do tour managing too. I don't care who I'm with or why. I want to go to Tokyo just for bring music to the other side of the world.
Okay, all right. Let's see. I'm going through Talbot's list here.
Channeling
Yeah.
your boy.
Well, I'll get one of my own, an old school one. When Steph got off the bus in elementary school, what was the kids program or cartoon or whatever? See, I'm kind of older, so what kind of cartoon or whatever was on the TV after school?
Oh, after school. Honestly, I was raised kind of feral, so I'm probably not the best one. I was
That's a
we were
pass
outside
on that
kids. We were go outside kind of kids.
Okay.
I don't really know. I'm the worst at trivia for that reason. Everyone's like, "You don't know these movies?" I'm like, "I don't. I'm sorry."
So asking you what movie what soundtrack you'd like to hear your music on is probably not a
Yeah, I'm
good.
out. I have no idea.
I'm really not that good at that either. All right. Well, we'll get to even the final question might be a little tricky. You spent a decent amount of time in the South, so you might know this one. So we'll go. All right. Before we do that, make sure you can follow Steph on all the socials, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. Whenever she posts something, uh, give it a like, give it a comment, leave some smart
Hey,
ass stuff in there. Be funny, it's okay. Uh, and whenever she says she's got new music coming out, go check the stuff out. Share it with some friends. If you like it, there's a really good chance some of your buddies are going to like it too. Thinking things, it just helps everybody involved, helps get the music out there. Um, all right, so this question started off as a joke on episode 1, and here we are. I don't even know what episode we're on, but it's still rolling. So, Steph, what is your favorite Little Debbie snack?
ooh, I don't know. I haven't had one in so long. Is Twinkie a Little Debbie? No, no,
No,
that's
no.
Hostess.
Uh-huh.
Where's the?
It's zebra cakes, Nutty Buddies, fudge rounds, oatmeal cream pie.
Oh, those oat cream pie ones. Ah, that just triggered a core memories I didn't
I'm
know I
sorry.
had.
I'm sorry.
Oh, those were so good. Remember, you'd put them in your bag and they just get squashed, just completely disintegrate.
Right. Yeah, gotta eat them out of the package.
It'd just be a sludge of sugar.
Sludge of sugar is why we asked that question right there. We were trying to think of what the most Dollar General question we could ask is, and that's what I come up with. So, all right. Steph, I appreciate the time. It was good to talk to you.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good evening. We'll see you.
Bye.